Hey guys, my name's Dan Fostel with Fostel Studios, and I'm just going to be doing a quick and dirty skin editing today for one of my members' requests. So this is going to be quick and dirty skin with software. So we're going to use some software that I enjoy and I like using. It does real quick edits. If you're looking for a 10-minute edit, this is the easiest way I've found to do it. I could look into some manual solutions, but this is going to be the fastest. So we'll jump right into it, try and keep this video short. So I pulled up one of my shots from the beach series that I did a few months ago. I think that was last summer. So I'm just going to quick crop this in a little bit just so we have a little bit better of a composition. Doesn't work super awesome with the 4. There you go, that's not terrible. Whereas we're not really using the shot, we're just kind of trying to crop it in to do the demo. So there we go, so I've cropped it in. So the first thing, you kind of going to look at your face and your skin differently. So for face, Photoshop has these neural filters. They work, great for quick and dirty stuff for me. Up here, the skin smoothing is what we're going to be looking at. We literally just click that on. It's going to do its thing, and you can see right away that the Photoshop does a pretty good job with the face retouching. You can output it to a new layer, current layer, smart filter, whatever you like. I usually just do it to a new layer. So that way, if it was a little bit too intense, I can always back that down, bring out some more of the natural freckles, or bring it up. So quick and dirty, that's how I would do a face edit. For the rest of the skin, I like this software here, the Anthropics Portraitpro Body. I want to say it was a little bit over 50 bucks, maybe 50, 70 bucks, but great software. So come into the software here, we're going to click on the model's nose. It is going to be female. So it's going to quickly kind of look at where all the limbs and stuff are. Let me get my little editing glove on while we're working on this. Just helps your hand slide over the tablet a little bit easier. So specifically, we're looking at skin. So I'm going to come in here, just kind of fix the mask a little bit. It saw some of those sand tones and thought it was skin, so we're going to knock that out. Bring that skin back into the shot. Again, we're kind of just doing this quick, so I'm not going to put too much effort into this, but so you can see it's fading because it wants to do it. So this software can also do the face as well, so I'll show you that real quick, but we obviously did the face through Photoshop's thing. So real quick, you could just drop that down to here, looking at the skin, looking at the chest, over on the picture right next to the arm. I'm looking at a little spot there where the outfit was. And you can see that just kind of real fast pulls the skin in for a quick and dirty. Now the other things that this software can do is it can fix some lens distortion type things real fast. So I can just pull that picture. You want to be careful with the background. It does a fairly decent job, but sometimes some of the aspects are distracting. And you can kind of move around a lot of these things to kind of make the picture what you saw in your mind. And this one I wouldn't probably mess with too much, but just an idea of what you can do. Each individual arm, if one arm was close to the camera and you just wanted to narrow that down, I can just narrow down the right arm. The left arm doesn't, you can't see that right arm there. And you can also do some repositioning type stuff, like just kind of really fine-tuning the picture and seeing what you want to do with it. But we're not going to mess with too much of that here because we're just really looking at skin. So I'm going to accept those changes. Back out, so those changes are now applied. The only other thing that I would do real fast to this one, we have somehow my layers got out of place there. Okay, well, yeah, you kind of saw what it did. The only other thing I would look at in something like this is some of these spots where the bathing suit was a little bit too tight. I would just jump real fast into liquify. Let's just knock out these layers here since it's being moody. Now in liquify, primarily I'm going to be working with this forward warp tool, and we're just going to kind of knock some of these areas where, just knock some of those areas back, kind of jumping back and forth, looking at where I want to look at. So again, right here, the bathing suit's a little tight, so we're just going to even that out a little bit. And I'd take a lot more time on this if I was doing it for a real photo, but we're just going to kind of push those lines in, bring the bathing suit out a little bit, even out some of those lines there. So just kind of playing with the size, trying to get that, just those pinch points a little bit evened out there. So again, jump back out, look for anything else we want to do. Pretty happy with that where it's at. And that's just kind of shows you real quick what we did, just real fast, getting that, taking care of that tight bathing suit. So again, since that software didn't seem to work, it like shifted everything. So again, that's that PortraitPro body. Everything's already set because we've already done this, so the skin looks great. I'm just going to re-export that layer as it kind of glitched a little bit. There we go, that time it worked. And she shrunk a little bit just because of the modifier sliders that we were playing with there. So that's a real fast 5-minute edit. Now if you were going to try to attack something like this little red spot here, you could take a brush and go into color mode. And what I'd want to do is I'd want to sample a color of skin that I want to play with. And we want to flow down a little bit there. And I can actually just paint some of that color back on. That looked a little bit grayish. So maybe grab a little bit more rosy of a color. So not a great example, but that's basically what you'd want to do. This is probably now a luminosity problem. So if you drop a black and white in there, so I can obviously see that spot. So I'm just going to do dodge about 3%, real soft. Oop, on the wrong layer. Now this is a destructive method, so once I've done this I can't go back. I'll show you a non-destructive here in a second. So you just kind of find some of these spots that are kind of catching your eye, and that's the quick and dirty version there. So a non-destructive method, let me just undo some of that, bring that spot back. I'm going to go up here to solid color. I'm going to bring it over till it's a 50% gray. Then I'm going to do overlay. So overlay is just looking at the differences in lights and darks. Go back to my brush now tool. And we're going to be doing black and white. Flow, again we want around 3%. It's going to ask to rasterize the layer. And now we're just going to be doing the same thing, but the key now is that this will be a non-destructive. So come over here. Oh, this will be on the dodge and burn, so we're going to, because we're changing that gray layer. So I'm just going to come over here, I'm going to dodge that down a little bit. And you can be a lot more careful with this. I'm just kind of jumping around for the sake of the video. Up, I went too far, so I hold Alt, and I'll bring that back. And just play with your brush size and kind of work that spot till your eye doesn't see it anymore. So again, up here, I see little spots of lighter, little spots of darker, so Alt burns it down, and then Dodge lightens it up. So I'm just kind of going through Alt to Dodge and burn. So another spot over here that I see where she had a clothing line, so you could real quick dodge some of those spots up. And that's a quick way to hide some of those things in there. Again, another clothing line there. We're just going to dodge it up a little bit. If you went too far on some of them, burn them back down. Zoom out. I look over it a little bit more. I say, oh, that's a little spot there that I can see. So you just kind of go over your model, and that's basically what you're looking at. We can turn back on the color, and now we can see real fast what we did with that dodge and burn alone, knocking out this dark spot there. So that's with the dodge and burn, that's without. And since this is a non-destructive method, we could even call that dodge and burn. If I thought it was too much, I can bring it back a little bit, 50%, 60%, and bring back some of the natural hue. So that's kind of the basics of how I would do a real quick 10-minute edit on a basic shot to bring the skin together, just give it a little bit clean up on the edges, and kick out a shot. Alright guys, hope you learned something, and we'll see you on the next video.